Hey, I'm John, your friend in tech. Welcome to a day in the life of a software engineer, 2023 in Office Edition. Let's go. For those of you who may not know me, my name is John and I joined Google as a software engineer over 6 years ago. I joined right after graduating college and I've spent my entire career on the Android and Google Pixel team working on how the software looks and feels when users interact with it. I like to make these day in the life vlogs to document my life and career because the tech industry moves fast and it's nice to look back on these videos to see what has changed. In today's episode, I'm going to share my experience on how it's been returning to the office 3 times a week. Not gonna lie, it's been a rough transition, but more on that later. In other news, a feature I worked on finally launched. The products are in stores, all the tech influencers have talked about it, and the reviews have actually been pretty good, so it's been really exciting. In my last video, I teased that it's related to tablets and foldables, so stick around if you want to know what I've been working on. In terms of agenda, today is going to be a very typical work day in the office for me. I started my morning by taking the Google bus from San Francisco down to Mountain View. My commute takes a little over an hour, which is a long time, but since I'm able to work on the bus, it's not that bad. Not great, but not that bad. And this is nice because I'm able to work a typical 9 to 5 schedule where I'm actually home by 5 o'clock. When I get to the office, the first thing I do is grab a cup of coffee before heading to my desk. I try my best to block off my mornings for focused time because that's when I'm most productive and there's nothing worse than getting interrupted when you're in a flow state and getting things done. Alright, just gonna take a quick break to fill you all in. So I can't talk about what I'm coding right now, but I can talk about one of the features that I launched most recently. And just to give some context, the majority of my work here at Google has been on the phone form factor, but now I'm working on tablets and foldables. And if you didn't already know, Google released their Pixel Fold and Pixel Tablet this year, earlier in June. And it's actually the first foldable and tablet from the Pixel lineup, so lots of reasons to be excited for the release, one of which is that I helped to work on it. The feature that I worked on is the taskbar, and I'll let MKBHD explain it.
The new dock sort of ties it all together. So this dock I talked about on the Pixel tablet, you swipe up slightly from the bottom and the home bar turns into your home screen dock. And you can quickly switch between these apps or launch into multitasking super easily.
And then as for what I personally worked on, I worked on how the taskbar looks and moves on the screen and how the user interacts with it. So like when you're swiping up and down, it'll either show or hide and stuff like that. It's really exciting. I really like this kind of work. So one of the things that I really love about being a software engineer is being able to build software that people will actually be able to use in their hands and interact with and stuff like that. And so this has been a really cool project to work on because the taskbar is such a huge part of how users will use tablets and foldables, not just in the Pixel lineup, but throughout Android as well. Plus, I got to work with a lot of great people that I haven't worked with before, and so that's something I also really value when it comes to working on a project is the people that I'm working with. But yeah, just wanted to give an update and kind of share like why I like being a software engineer and why I like working on the projects that I am working on. So, cheers! Okay, so it's me, John. It's been a few weeks since I recorded this video. I'm actually recording the voiceover right now, so figured I'd just pop into this video, add some extra dynamic, and also just let you know that I am back here on YouTube. If you've seen my last office vlog, you probably noticed I'm sitting at a new desk, and that's because my office did a reshuffle so that teams could actually sit next to one another, and I ended up only moving about 20 feet, so not too far, but I did change up my entire desk setup, so I figured I'd go over what's new with you right now. And if you've seen my vlogs where I'm working from home, you probably noticed that my desk looks actually very similar to the one that I have here, and I did that on purpose. As a hybrid worker that sometimes works in the office and sometimes works at home, it's super convenient to have the same exact desk setup because my entire workflow is pretty much the same, all the equipment I have is the same, and they're all pretty much in the same spot, which is like perfect. So for both my setups, I have a 32-inch monitor, a Grove-made desk shelf. I have an ergonomic mouse from Logitech. The one in the office is the MX Master 3, and the one I have here at home is the MX Master 3S, and it's just like a silent version. I also have an Elgato key light as my desk light, and I have it mounted here at home, but at my office it's just sitting on my desk. And then for my development devices, I have this phone/tablet holder. At my home office, I have it mounted to my desk with this arm, and then at my work office, I have it actually attached to my Elgato key light. The only difference is that at work I have a Apple keyboard instead of a mechanical one. I also have a laptop tray instead of a laptop stand just because I've already had it from my previous desk setup and it seemed kind of wasteful just to like throw it away. And I also have hand sanitizer on my desk just because I feel like there's so many germs in the office, lots of people coughing, sneezing, everything. And I've been getting sick a lot, so it's actually been really helpful just to have it on my desk. And then the best part of both setups is that they're both powered from my MacBook Pro, so all I have to do is plug in one cable and I'm good to go. Today I have 3 meetings. My first meeting is a meeting where people from adjacent teams can present what they're working on. One of my teammates talked about one of her projects that she built, and since I knew I wouldn't be talking, I decided to take the meeting from the treadmill desk. Walking during meetings helps me stay focused, and it's an easy way to get movement throughout the workday. It's actually what I would do if I was working from home because I do have a desk treadmill. My second meeting is a training on how to be a mentor. I volunteered to mentor a college student who is studying computer science and needs guidance on how to join the tech industry. I'm really excited because I know how important these programs are, and I know that I've benefited from having a mentor, so this is just my way of giving back and helping the next generation of software engineers. For lunch, my coworkers and I go to a cafe called Switch. If you didn't know, the Google campus in Mountain View is actually really big, so you do have to walk a few blocks to get there, but it's definitely worth it. I end up having to leave a little bit early to attend my third and final meeting, which is going to be the actual kickoff for the mentorship program. All right, so I didn't really plan this well, but it's 1 o'clock and I have my final meeting today, but still hungry. I only ate half of my sandwich, so I'm gonna finish it and tune into my meeting. So I guess I'll check in with you in a bit. We basically just went over the details on how the program works and the topics that we'll be covering, and we ended up having a random breakout room. So I was in a room with one mentor and 3 other mentees, and we all just got to talk about the program and like what we do and stuff like that. And I know it's super corny to say, but time really flies, and it's just funny to think about how much I used to stress about graduating and finding a job. I really wish I could go back in time and tell my younger self that everything will work out just fine. Bye. Always such an awkward bye. For the rest of the day, I ended up working anywhere except for my desk because even though it's been a few weeks since I returned to office, I am still getting used to working in an office environment. Trust me, if I could work from home every day, I would. So I applied to transfer to have my position be fully remote, but it got denied, and not gonna lie, I was really disappointed with that. And there's a few reasons why I'd rather work from home. Number one is that commuting is physically and mentally exhausting. By the time I get to the office, I'm already so tired, which is why the first thing I do is get coffee. I really have no idea how I used to commute 5 times a week when I first started working. Number two, which is kind of on me, is that I just eat a lot of bad food when I'm in the office. So one of the perks about the office is that all the food and drinks are free, but it's also a double-edged sword because there's just so much junk food that's easily available. And for me, when I'm tired, I tend to gravitate towards junk food, and because my commute is super tiring, it's just like I'm tired, then I eat bad food, and it's kind of like a negative cycle. Number three, I've gotten sick so many times, and I think it's a combination of just being in a more germy environment in general, but also because I feel like people are more likely to come in now while they're sick because we are required to be in the office. Number four, the biggest reason is that I'm just more productive working from home. When I'm working from home, I don't have to worry about waiting in line for food, waiting in line for the bathrooms. I don't have to worry about finding a meeting room. I don't have to worry about people taking too long in the meeting room, so I have to kick them out. And there's just like all these little things that really add up that take away from the time that I could actually be spent working. I know it'll take time to transition back into working in an office, but for right now, it's kind of been a struggle. I know I probably sound complainy or kind of entitled, but I'm really not looking for sympathy. I really just want to share my experience returning to the office and kind of what I've been going through and how I've been feeling about it. Alright, so it's pretty much the end of the workday for me, at least in the office. I still have an hour of work to do when I commute back home to San Francisco. But I just wanted to say that this is pretty much what a day in my life looks like most of the time in the office. I also want to say that, you know, a job is a job. It's not always going to be exciting, and it's going to be a lot of hard work. And actually, a lot of the days it'll be hard and very difficult. But I do think being a software engineer is worth it. It's a lot of fun. I get to work on really cool projects and work with really cool people, and also make a lot of money. So definitely a bonus. If you want to know how much money I've made as a software engineer, check out my next video. I've got to go catch my bus and finish my workday, so I'll catch you in the next one.